So, we're going to be looking at the very large locomotives in my collection for HO gauge anyways. Very long locomotives, I should say. Yeah. I've only got 3 that are really ridiculously long. The 7017 clips both of these diesels. I can't quite tell which of these ones are longer. If you're just counting this the shell and not the platforms here, the city of San Francisco just barely is just a little wee bit longer than this thing. It's like a FP 45 or 40. I'm not sure. Sorry. Originally the internet told me it was a C6, and then it told me it was an FP40, and then an FP45, and then I was like, well, what is it? Anyways, this one. I take great care, very careful with this one. It was brand new. It's still pretty much brand new. I have no idea how much it cost. It must have cost like a lot. Considering that you can actually add sound to this, yeah. Okay, well, from the most expensive being the steam locomotive to the cheapest locomotive of the lineup, being the city of San Francisco, made by Tyco. Yeah, I know, Tyco. Yes, get the cringe out of the way. It's fine. No, yeah, I know what you're saying. Why? Why do I have a Tyco locomotive? Well, because they're cheap. They're very cheap. I mean, you can find these for like $10, $5, $2, even as low as $1 if you get it in as bad as a condition as I got it in. The shell is actually in pretty good condition. I was able to clean it up a long time ago and make this look very good, but of course it's dirty again and it needs cleaned again. Which I'll do eventually, but not right now. This definitely is one of the longest locomotives I have. It's a bit longer than the 7017. It's actually slightly longer than the, what is this, the FP-45? I'm not sure. I'd have to look on the internet. This is the cheapest locomotive that I think I've ever gotten that actually runs. Yeah, I actually made this thing work. Yeah, it's Tyco, but it works. The reason why I got it so cheap is, you see how these wheels back here are pink? That's because of corrosion. Now, I cleaned off the corrosion, and the wheels are clean, so it's fine. These wheels do pick up power now, so that's good. They were very green and very green and oxidized and completely just oxidized. I always wanted one of these San Francisco ones, and you know, went for $1. I seen this long dude in a bin, and I was like, I bet I could get that to work, and I did. And for $1, I mean, what a steal it is. I mean, this shell is in really pretty good condition. It's dirty, but it's in pretty good condition. I can clean this eventually again. This one still needs cleaned. It's my most recent find, apart from the other couple of locomotives that I got at the train show. I've never heard of the railway, but when I looked it up, it just told me it was the Pennsylvania Mountains. So, Pennsylvania Railroad, question mark? It's like an FP45, I think. I'm not sure. I'd have to look that up. This one is in a lot more nice condition, which I guess tells you what you get for one more dollar. It needs cleaned, of course, but I mean, that's easy enough. I can wash it with soap and water the shell, and then let it dry, and it'll be clean enough anyways. That's what I did with this, and I mean, it looks pretty good. It just needs cleaned, that's all. Yeah, I mean, for $2, I mean, it also probably runs now that I've gotten the middle wheel to spin. Yeah, we don't talk about the rear middle wheel. It's probably gonna fall off eventually once that axle finally cracks and breaks. Let's put these two back on the shelf, and I'll talk about my other train show finds. The city of San Francisco was actually from my previous train show haul. I showed it off in a video, I think. I'm not sure. Right, this green thing. The name of these completely escapes my mind, but same railway. I mean, as the big thing that I just showed you. This was also $2. I don't know if it runs. That's the gamble you take buying these things for so cheap, is that you don't know if they run or not until you try them. This black one was from my previous train show, so yeah, I legitimately did, just go, yep, I'm just gonna buy all of these. I mean, for $6 for 3 locomotives, I mean, how can you pass that up? Even if they don't work, I mean, you can always put them on display. This one wasn't even from a train show. It was just an impulse buy at an antique store because it was so cheap. These Bud Interurbans that I have, those were bought at the Illinois Railway Museum at their train shop. These were $20 a pop for dummy or working unit, and it said that the working unit didn't work, so it would have been $40 if they knew it was working. So I got it for the two of them for $40, which I mean, that's okay. I actually cleaned it up and got it to run. It runs fantastically, honestly. But that's like, I got it from a bin of locomotives. It was just like in a bin that was forlorn. What else did I get at the train show? Well, I got these two coaches specifically for $16 for the pair, and the reason why it was so expensive is because of the name on them. Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey. Yes. I didn't have any other. They didn't have the whole set. It was just the two. And I've always had a fascination with the old style circus trains, and so I couldn't resist. I just had to. What else did I get at the train show? Well, I'm glad you asked. I got 2 O-gauge locomotives. Yes, they're not the same. Well, they are the same, but they're also not. They're the same design, basically, but they're 2 different numbers. The 2037 and 2026, that looks like. Yeah, that's, Oof. Pellet residue. I think I got this at the last train show as well for $1 because it didn't work and I restored it to working order. Got this at the most recent train show. These green ones, all the 3 of these green ones. It's another Tyco locomotive, but you know what? I bet I can get it to run. These don't seem like they particularly like to die, so yeah. The Tyco diesels, well, they just keep on going. You keep fixing them and they keep on going. Now these are a different story. One of these has a problem where the ground wire snaps, and I don't know how to put it back where it goes because it goes in a very specific spot. And it's weird. But one of them runs, the other one doesn't until I figure out how to fix that issue. That F3 or F7, I don't know what it was, but the Pocono one that I just showed you, that was also $2. So $6 for 3 locomotives. That's not a bad deal. Now, these two, the switchers, or the road switchers, yard switchers, these have a problem, which is they have a very specific motor, and if it's gone, it's gone. You have to replace it. So I don't know if that green one runs yet. If it does, then that's great. But if it doesn't, oh well. It was only $2. And then, I showed this one off in a video where I tried my best to put on the hand railing, which came in the package, and this was only like $10 or $20 for this, and they didn't know if it ran or not, so I bought it and it ran out of the box. Yes, it came in the box with everything, the couplers and the handrails and everything. It was a pain to put those couplers on. It has the pain of the slide over coupling installation system, which is a pain to deal with. I also got this line of cars on the second track that my finger is following. I tried to clean these up the best I could with the resources I had, but they're still very dusty. Dust seems to like to stick to HO gauge models. Eventually, this is going to be a restoration project of mine. Oof, I know. This is a die-cast model by Hubley of the 1956 question mark Studebaker station wagon. It was originally red. Somebody painted it yellow at some point. I've seen fantastic restorations of these. No videos, but I've seen the aftermath of a few restorations of these where it looks great. And hopefully eventually, oh, I'm tired, I can get mine to look fairly well as well. Yes. That's pretty much all I got at the train show, was these two locomotives and their tenders. And the other things that I showed. Oh, I also got a dummy cable car for $1. does nothing. It's a platypus. It doesn't do much. Yeah, it's just a shelf sitter. It does roll, but the wheels, they don't pivot. No, not at all. This isn't supposed to run. I don't think it's supposed to run. It's a dummy. I think this is like it's purely a display piece, which is what I bought it for, regardless, because I wanted it. Oh.